We are live from Crusaders headquarters. So welcome to tonight's show. We are joined back with Edward Hendrie for part 2. So if you remember, Edward Hendrie is the author of The Greatest Lie on Earth, Proof That Our World is Not a Moving Globe. His website is thegreatmountainpublishing.com. Here's the first part that we did. The final experiment debunked with Edward Hendrie was streamed a month ago, and this video generated a lot of views and discussion that Mr. Jeranism, with his new logo, with a cross, Xing out what's supposed to be a flat Earth map. So he's doubling down that he no longer is a flat earther. So he did a video going over the video that myself and Edward Hendrie did. So we're going to have Edward jump on. So welcome back, Edward Hendrie. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Nico.
you're welcome to you're welcome to introduce yourself, and then we're going to get back in and see what your response is to Jeren and how he's claiming that the footage is not tampered with. So I appreciate you being here again. So we're looking forward to diving right in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I actually posted a response to his video. It's on my website, and it's titled under Edward Hendrie responds to Jeren Campanella, and so it's the second article on there. But right now, I think we should delve into one of the points that Jeren made in his video. Okay. And it addresses the cloud issue. So let's go to that cloud and let's talk about that. Okay. Now, when I first introduced this issue, it was, as I looked at it, this cloud dropped in the sky preternaturally. It doesn't happen in nature that way. It clearly looked like CGI, and it was CGI. The thing is, and Jeren pointed this out, clouds naturally do that as you approach an overhang, a barrier, and that is true, but they don't drop like this cloud. So he said what he said was accurate. Clouds do drop, but not this way. So I incidentally mentioned, and I focused on the drop, but actually, if you look at the cloud, it changes its orientation in relation to the horizon as it drops. And that's the key thing. So if you look at the cloud, all right, now you'll see that it has an orientation to the horizon. Now he's walking towards the latrine here in this first slide. And the horizon's flat, and you see the cloud has this particular orientation to the horizon. Now, as he continues to walk, the horizon's flat. He's still walking steady. He's level on the ground. And as he walks, now suddenly this cloud changes its orientation. It's floating this way. So it's gone from this orientation to this orientation in very short order. Okay, so this is a matter of a few seconds. So as he's walking, now it changes its orientation once again back to this orientation to the horizon, and the horizon's still flat, okay? Still level. He's still walking. He's walking level, and again, we have it changing its orientation once again in the sky. So it's floating back and forth, and clouds do not do that naturally. A CGI program that is not able to render the cloud properly will do that, but that does not happen in nature. And what I've done is I've clipped out the clouds and put them in order so you can see more clearly what the cloud's doing in the sky. So you can see here, and I put the timestamps so you can look at the video where the timestamps are. You can see the orientation is this way, and then the orientation is they and this way. So it's flipping back and forth as he's walking towards the latrine. This is clear indication of CGI. So this is an altered video. It's not candid, and they've overlaid a CGI sky onto his GoPro camera.
Ed, this is amazing. So all these orientations and those timestamps.
If you want to see the actual video we're talking about, we can play.
Yeah, they're in relation to the flat horizon. And unbelievable.
Yeah, they're on my website under. Yeah, they're on my website. Yeah. So this is and that wisping back and forth I hadn't really focused on before. I focused on the drop, but it's this wisping back and forth that is proof that this cloud was a CGI rendering in the sky. Because this wisping back and forth happened. It started at 2:33:58 and it ended up at 2:34:23. So it all happens within about 30 seconds. So all of this is happening in about 30 seconds. It's pretty quick.
What this seems like to me, Ed,
we can play the video.
It seems like some very lazy editing with the cloud added in afterwards. With
let me hold on.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit there.
I can't say how they did it. Okay, I have a guess that it probably was rendered afterwards. And let's see.
Wait, can you hear me? So how, as an editor, how it looks like to me is that the cloud was put in.
Let's go share. Okay, do you have is the video? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Ed?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I see, okay, your screen's back up. So let's get that back up. So I was saying that the cloud could be put into the edited sky afterwards, and it's lazy editing because you're supposed to keyframe the cloud, and it takes a lot of work. And that's what you have caught, is the cloud with its orientation shifting within seconds like that. Definitely proof of CGI.
Yes.
Okay, your screen is up sharing, Ed.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the here's the video, the actual video you can see. And really it's so subtle. See this, their use of CGI was so subtle that it's really hard to pick up unless you're looking for it. So and without me parsing it out and taking the stills like that, most people might not notice it. Okay.
A little bit of
so here he is walking toward.
Yeah, this is awful, Ed. This is not. Yeah, so everyone, you're not going to be able to see.
Okay, were you able to see that? Because your screen looked blank to me.
Yeah, there's some serious interference happening, so no one's able to see anything. It's really glitchy and very slow. It's not really flowing at all, the video.
Okay. Because when you watch the video, it's quite obvious it's an artificial cloud. So the cloud glitches, it becomes fuzzy. You can see by looking at it, if you focus on that cloud, you can see that this is not a natural cloud. So you want me to play it again?
Yeah, I'm going to try and find the video also, and just in case
Nico?
it doesn't play. I'm gonna try and find it also, but yeah, try and play it
Oh,
again.
okay. Well, why don't you play it? Why don't you play it on your end?
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring it up because it wasn't playing
Yeah, play it
smooth
on your
at
end.
all.
Maybe that'll work better.
Which one was it again? Caught pretending to verify video glitches prove the final experiment. I think it's on this one. So I'm just going to bring up the video. You've got it time-stamped. It's on this GoPro here. Okay. Green quick. Okay. So you can see this now, Ed.
You have to go to 234.
Oh, 234. Sorry.
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
go to 234.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, here he goes. He's walking out. Okay. Now keep your eye on the winged cloud that you'll see up on the top of the screen. It hasn't appeared yet. Okay, you see it there. All right, you see it going back and forth. He'll turn around at a point.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's going to turn around. There's their CGI sun. And there you go. You can see it. And it will distort. It will morph.
And
then it goes behind the
yeah.
So if you see it on a higher resolution screen, I know it's really hard when it's being broadcast like this, but if you look at it on a high resolution screen, you can see that it's very much an artificial cloud. Now, this is just one example of their use of computer special effects. So they began this in Punta Arenas. And they have a video that they presented, Will Duffy presented from his drone that allegedly showed the sun setting in a south by southeast. I'm sorry, the sun rising in a south by southeast direction. I found proof that he used CGI in that video. So we can
yeah. Ed's having troubles with his internet. The signal's a little bit in and out, but he is presenting the proof of CGI in the footage from TFE.
Right. Okay.
And thank you to Timber Traveler for the $20 Canadian super chat. Says, because good researching has unlimited values. Appreciate that. It's a great comment. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So what they did was they met up in Punta Arenas, and we'll wait till my page loads. Okay, here we go. And they would meet up at night and after the sunset and try to present evidence that because there was a brightness in the southern sky, they would point to that and say, see, the sun is now rotating or circling, okay, or below the southern horizon. And that's what we're going to see when we go to Antarctica. But now they arrived, interestingly enough, on one occasion, I believe it was the 13th, the night of the 13th, before they were to leave for Antarctica on the morning of the 14th. They met at 10:05. Jaron announces the time at 10:05. Isn't it interesting when you look at sun and date and time calendar, that the website, that was the reported sunset time. So they got there precisely after the sunset. in order to make their point. They could have been there to see the sunset, but no, they had to get there after the sunset. Why? Because they wanted to pull a scam.
Exactly.
What people don't realize is that there are two sources of light. If you read the Bible, you'll understand that God created light on the first day. And he separated the light from the darkness, and he called the light day and the darkness night. There were 4 nights and 4 days before he created the sun and moon. So we know we had days and nights before we had the sun. And so there are actually 2 sources of light during the day. There's an ambient light that comes straight down. And if you are an early riser, as I am, you can actually see during the twilight morning where the sun is not yet risen above the horizon. You can actually see shadows underneath parked cars. Now, how is it that there are shadows under parked cars when the sun has not yet risen? That's the lights that creates day. It's an ambient light, and the shadow comes straight down because the light is coming straight down from the firmament.
Yeah.
One of the effects of at dawn and dusk of this ambient light is oftentimes it will show in the opposite horizon a glow. You might see that in the morning or in the evening. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you might see a glow on the eastern sky or a glow on the southern sky or the northern. So it does create an effect that will make you think that the sun has set somewhere else. But there is that ambient light, and I have examples of that.
Wow.
Here's an example where I was walking outside, and there was these really thick rain clouds came, and you can see the sun was shining here. Okay, you can see the shadow from the sun. As soon as the clouds overcame the sun and it became very dark, that shadow went away. But guess what? There's still a shadow directly underneath the car. What? From the ambient light, from the second source of light. Okay. So, and you can see that when you walk in the morning. Here's an eclipse where the sun is eclipsed, and you can't see it very well in this. There's actually a video. There's a video of the eclipse, but you can see it here. There are actually, you can see shadows. I increased the brightness of this photograph. The photograph was actually rather dark. I just increased the brightness of it so you can see. But there's an ambient light during an eclipse, which illuminates the area. Things don't come. It's not complete darkness. It's a twilight. Okay. Well, they use this twilight to scam people, and they avoided taking any videos of the sunset or sunrise. And I actually shamed Jaron into finally presenting me with a sunset video, which I'll get to in a minute, which is also full of CGI. He didn't think I'd be able to find the CGI. They do a very good job. They're very clever with their CGI. In this instance, they with the Punta Arenas sunrise video that Duffy presented, he puts up a video here and he introduces it saying this is absolute proof that the earth is a globe, and this completely impeaches the flat earth, and he shows the video. Well, the problem with the video is it's not a candid video. It is CGI. So you'll see that there's a main thoroughfare right along the coast here, right? And they wanted to present cars going across the thoroughfare. Now, ordinarily, there'd be a lot of traffic, which is the first indication this is completely CGI. They've manufactured cars driving. Now, why would they do that? Okay, it doesn't make sense. Now, granted, this is the sunrise is at 5:11 a.m., and this would be Saturday morning, but this is a main thoroughfare. People are up. I mean, I'm up usually early in the morning on the weekend, and people are driving. Okay, but anyway, they decided to put a couple of CGI cars to make it look realistic. So here's one car coming by. Okay, it's driving by. The problem is the car is clear CGI because here's a post that's between the camera and the car, and the computer software was not able to reconcile the parallax between the car and the pole, and it put the car in front of the pole instead of behind the pole. So here you go, proof of CGI. Now here's you can see as the car continues, there's another one. I make it clearer. Here's the whole front of the car, the headlight. You can see right here, that headlight is in front of the pole. You can see here the pole's in the ground in front of that car. That light should be behind that pole. You can see here we have the other headlight. Again, it's in front of the pole. Now they couldn't, the computer program couldn't reconcile the parallax very well, so they had to replicate the swaying in the sky of the drone. So the parallax between this sign, which is behind the pole, they had to reconcile the parallax. But what happened was the computer got it goofed up. Okay, the computer goofed and put the sign in front of the pole. So they were using CGI from the very beginning. See, here's this sign is actually behind the pole. But it actually the computer put it in front of the pole. Yeah,
you can see it.
So you can see his video. Yeah, you can see his video. And so this is the kind of thing that they've done, and it's CGI throughout. So Jaron. I was communicating with Jaron, and all he did was write epithets against me. I mean, he's the nasty. He is really nasty. And basically, I kept asking him, okay, please send me any videos of sunsets or sunrises from Punta Arenas, because the only one I have was the one from Duffy, which I've now proven is CGI. Now, they were there for 3 days and 3 nights, and they presented one video, which I can show as a fraud. And I asked him, and he said, well, yeah, I think McToon has one. I think Jonathan has one. I think Duffy has one. You want me to get it? I said, yes, please get one. So he tells me about all these videos that he thinks they have. He presents me with one out of 3 days of a sunset. And let's look at that because that one is also full of CGI. So he sends me a sunset video, which, by the way, has never been posted. This video was never posted. He sent me a link where you can download the video, and I have the link in my article here called "More CGI from the Final Experiment." And during the video, McToon gleefully says, "We are going to get the sunset," and he says, "South, south. South of due west. Flatties, that sunset is your destruction," in reference to the sunset that he's in the midst of filming. "You are done. This is impossible if the earth is flat in a pizza." Okay, that's what he said, mockingly, making the point. This video is going to do you in. Now, isn't that interesting? This is McToon, who now is announcing in the video how destructive this video is to the flat earth, and that's his mission. He has 3 YouTube channels and a website devoted to addressing the flat earth. And yet, he keeps this video secret until Jaron finally sends it to me. It's still not public. It's still not public. I got the link to it because I shamed Jaron into sending it to me. And he begrudgingly did that. But now I have it. I've posted it. Okay, it's out. But it's only available from my article. It's nowhere else. Now, why would McToon, whose mission is to destroy the flat earth, and he thinks this video does that. Well, why would he keep it secret? Well, isn't that interesting? And another thing, during the video, there's also a video. He takes a video of Will Duffy doing a drone, having a drone up, taking a video of the sunset. He also has set up a camera to film the sunset. Neither of those two videos has appeared either. Where are they? Why haven't they been shown? Sharon only gave me this one in 3 months. So here he is walking along, and he flips his camera around to face him. Okay. He was talking, and he's blabbing on, blah, blah, blah. And what happened was the computer program got discombobulated. So when he flips the camera around, the computer program is now supposed to render the sun behind him. And the computer program is doing the best it can. But remember, he flips it around when the sun's behind a barrier. So now this computer program has to really get it right. So here's the sun, and here's a cloud right here in relation to the sun. I'll show you more clearly a little bit later. What happens immediately is, as he walks, suddenly here's the cloud as a reference. That sun changes position in relation to the cloud. It's now moved closer to the cloud. Okay. As he walks, all right, the sun now moves further away from the cloud, but still not to the spot where it was. As he continued, now this is all happening within 3 seconds or 2 seconds. So this movement, 114A and 114B, is a split second. So it's within a second. The marking on the video is at 114. I'm not sure where it was. So that's why I say A and B. I can't give a decimal. But it's within tenths of a second between this point and this point. It's within a second. Okay. And so 2 seconds later, it's here. Still not back to where it was when he started. Now, finally, 3 seconds later, it's now where it started. Okay. Oh, great. Wonderful. Now the computer's caught up to itself, right? In relation to where the cloud is. Here's the problem. By the end, the sun is still in the wrong spot. And here's the thing. The sun, as you know, across water casts a reflection across water. And that reflection will always track directly to the sun. And it will go to your eye or the lens of a camera. Well, here, the computer got it screwed up. They put a sun reflection at the spot where the sun first appeared, but they didn't catch the sun up to it. So now we have the sun over here and the reflection on the water off center. It's misaligned. That does not happen in nature. That is CGI. So I'll show you more clearly with blow-ups. I have some blow-ups here. So here's 114 of the video. Here's the sun. Here's the sun peeking through. Here's a split second later. Within a second, it's already in relation to this cloud. This red line is marked and referenced on this cloud. Right away, it's already moved back that far to the cloud. Here, now it's trying to go back to where it should be. Here's the cloud. It still hasn't gotten back to where it started. Here by 117, it's back to where it should be. But then when he concludes, it is now retraced to here. And that's the problem. When it retraced, what we have is a reflection across the water that is not aligned with the sun.
Yeah, that
does not happen in nature. That does not happen in nature. That is CGI, proof of CGI. And here I have an example. Later on in that same video, at the 314 mark, you can see how the sun reflection across the water tracks directly to the lens of the camera right from the sun. But here we have the reflection across the water. It's not tracking with the sun. Now, as he was walking, they were supposed to be filming the sun on the horizon, the southern south by southeast, to make the point that, oh, the sun goes south in the southern hemisphere, that destroys the flat earth, etc. Okay, great. So they have their camera set up, and they're talking about how the you can see him here. He's got his hand. McToon's putting okay, there we go. he's putting a filter in front of the lens. You've got the camera pointed, and he's explaining to Duffy how this filter will affect the appearance of the sun. And he's putting it in front of there so they can see through the video viewfinder the difference. So obviously they're supposed to be portraying this camera pointing at the sun. The problem is the camera's not pointing at the sun. The camera's pointing off in this direction. You can see it obviously where it is here. It's not pointing towards the sun over here. It's pointing down in this direction. So it's all theater. This is all theater. It's all make-believe. Now, Duffy, at that time, when he was showing him that, was also flying a drone, taking a video in the drone of the sunset. We have this camera here taking a video of the sunset. We have McToon's handheld camera taking a video of the sunset. We've only received one of those videos, the one that Jaron sent me. We don't have the video from this camera. We don't have the video from the drone. And where are they? Because McToon is gleefully saying, once again, in this video, he said, I'm recording right now, Duffy said. And then McToon responded. He goes, Duffy says, it's south of due west. That's what he said, referring to the sun. And McToon says, completely done. Sorry, flatties, done. All done. And so that's what he says, basically, by what they're filming. Now, if that's the case, if he thinks that the flat earth is done by what they're doing here, why are they keeping these videos so secret? I can tell you why. The CGI has not gone well. They have, and it will be too obvious, and they can't produce them. They cannot produce them. I mean, this is like the clown fire department. You know, they cannot get anything right. So where is the sunset video from the tripod, and where is the sunset video from the drone? Nowhere to be found. All they did was show us the videos of, and this one is the one sunset they showed us, and the one sunrise, which are both proven CGI. There's CGI all over the place. This final experiment is riddled with fraud. And, you know, they alleged that what they were doing was live streaming. But Steve from Hey Dude, you know who Steve is, right?
I'm familiar with Steve, yes.
Call him in a live call, in a live stream from Antarctica. Duffy did not do it. And his excuse for not doing it was really lame. And I think that reveals how they were doing it. Their live streams were pre-recorded. I don't think there were any live streams. In fact, if you look at some of the ways they proved when they were there, some of the verifications, they make no sense. Now, here's another thing that Jaron tried to confuse people with in his rebuttal. And let's go to that. Let's see. It's an article. It's called Misdirection in Antarctica. Okay. All right, this is going to take some, this is kind of complicated, okay? I'm going to go to the TFE website, but I want to make a point before I do that. The TFE website has a map where they display where they were. Now, I put coordinates right here on Google Map, a Google Map rendition of Antarctica, where they allege they were. This is Mount Rossman right here. This is Union Glacier Camp, according to the GPS coordinates shown by Jaron. And this is where the secondary camp is located, okay, according to the drone coordinates. So remember, this is due north this way. Mount Rossman is supposed to be south. This is supposed to be south. Everything's supposed to be south of where they're looking. So Mount Rossman, the big mountain you see in all their videos, is south. Okay. Now, interesting, Google Maps shows Union Glacier Station, which is the same as Union Glacier Camp, over here. I'm not going to get into how that is different. It doesn't matter for our purposes, but there is a distinction between the two. Whether they're two different locations, I can't say for sure, but I think they're the same location. They just call it two different things, depending on what's being done. All right, so let's go to their website. We'll go to their website, and I'll explain to you what's going on here. So this is the final experiment website. Has it popped up? No, it hasn't. I have to share it to you. Okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah, you got it.
Let me go to present.
Wow, mind blown.
Hold on. Let me get it. All right, let's go to the final experiment. Their website, they proudly display.
It's up.
Okay. At the bottom of their website, they have a map. Okay. And this map is supposed to reveal what they did during their little excursion. All right. So one thing I want to point out is they have north pointed upwards, right? See that north? I want to point out something. They have Mount Rossman. This is Mount Rossman right here. They have Mount Rossman pointed in the wrong direction. So Mount Rossman, they have pointed to the west, okay? So their orientation on this map is all wrong. So in actuality, this direction pointed away from Mount Rossman is towards the north. They have north to the top of our screen.
Yeah.
So their map their custom map is all wrong. All right. So we know that Mount Rossman is here, and the camp. See the camp, where they have the camp. This is Union Glacier Camp. That is supposed to be north of Mount Rossman. Okay, so we know this is north. The second camp is right here, and that's also supposed to be north of Mount Rossman. Mount Rossman is supposed to be the south. So when we look at this map, just keep in mind to the right is north. Now we're going to zoom in.
We're just waiting for you to zoom in.
Zoom in to the secondary camp. And when you do that, you will see
so you're still zooming in. It's taken a while to load, but it's getting
there. It is. Okay, it's there. It's there. All right, there it is. Okay. All right. Do you see it now?
Not yet. I think it's still loading. It was really. Oh, now I see something. Yeah, we see it. It's loaded in. So you're up to date now. Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Right here, there's an S right there. See that S? That's the S that Jaron etched in the snow that's pointing south. So south would be this way. But remember, I pointed out to you that true north is to the left. And so he's actually put south pointing towards north. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh my, how the hell did you catch on and see that? That is so basically you've zoomed in from the Google Earth cam, and you can see the S that Jaron drew.
According to Jaron's here it is. So to the left is north, true north, because remember, their map is discombobulated. He has south pointed in this direction. Well, south is actually true north. It's pointed away from Mount Rossman. Now, if he's pointing away from Mount Rossman, what was south that he was, well, obviously the Mount Rossman that he was pointing to was CGI, because where he's pointing is actually north.
Wow.
And this, by the way, is not my map. This is the final experiment official map and log of where they went and what they did. This is what they put on their website.
Wow. This is great.
And see, I'm going to zoom out now. I'm zooming out. Okay, so you can see, here's Mount Ruth. So to the right is south, to the left is north. He was pointing, his arrow was pointing south, but we know that's north.
Oh, incredible. Incredible. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and we have other issues. We're not consistent in what they displayed on the website. Oh, hold on. I've got to get back to just a minute. Let me continue to share.
Wow. Yeah, the comments are flying in, Ed. People are telling us that they see it. Their minds are blown. Okay. What a great catch. Excellent work. Very great info. So yeah, this is so
and by
great.
The way, people can go to their website and check this out.
Yeah, you're still buffering in and out, Ed, just to let you know. So let me share your screen for you.
Here we have same location, same time, same date. Are you there?
It's still buffering. It's loading in. Just give it a second.
Okay, there we go. He's standing there. I see it up now. He's standing there filming the sun. It's basically south by southeast. Actually, they were all over the place is what was south. So Jaron had south toward Mount Rossman. Jonathan Morandi said this is south, which is about 30 degrees further west than Jaron had it. So they were all over the place. Why? Because they had no landmark on which to fix on, because there was CGI that was laid in after, taking it up as they went along. So Morandi, whereas Jaron said Mount Rossman was south. But in any event, he showed the sun. But the point is, the sun is at a different height than it was in the 24-hour video that they showed. The time-lapse video showed that the sun was at a different height than Morandi showed. See?
Wow, okay. Definitely, I see that.
Now, some might say, well, they were different cameras. Okay. I looked at the sun rise at the exact same time as Will Duffy's alleged live stream, which I don't believe was really live. And sure enough, they lined up exactly. Different cameras. He had a computer camera on his computer, and they lined up exactly. They say, well, a different position. Well, no. Here's Morandi. Here's where he was standing before he was filming that sunset. And here is where the camera was that was doing the 24-hour sun. They're within about 10 feet of one another laterally. So they were in the same location. There's no reason why the sun should have been at a different height. Another issue that Jaron took exception to was the stitching. And I can't take credit for this. This was actually discovered by Winter Patriot 45. He did a great job. So he discovered it, and he discovered that there were seams in the video. Now, there aren't seams in God's sky. Okay, so we know there's CGI going on here. And you can see the seam goes up and then off on an edge like this. Now, I can't say for sure it's a corner of a room, but it looks like the type of thing you would see in the corner of a room, because I do know that computer stitching does have that as well as a feature. Now, I went to try to find that seam, and it disappeared. They apparently had gone back and removed it. Now, Jaron says, well, of course they would. Why wouldn't they? Making excuses. Okay, fine. They removed it. Well, I went back and continued to look, and sure enough, at different timestamps, I found seams, the same kind of seams at different timestamps, okay? And I also found what appeared to be a seam going off in this direction here, almost like you're looking at the corner of a room. I'm not saying it was a room. It looks that way. And again, another spot, same configuration. I changed the contrast in Photo Paint to make it to kind of make it clear what's going on. This is not a normal sky. This is CGI. Now, Jaron's argument was, well, of course you're going to have stitches. It was an Insta360 camera, and where the cameras meet, there's going to be stitch marks. Well, the problem is these seams were in the center of the lens. And you can see here, Will Duffy's looking directly into the lens itself, and the stitch mark goes right across his face. Okay, so it's not from the Insta360 camera. It's something post-production of some kind, because the seam on a 360 camera is on the periphery where the cameras meet at the edge. So that's not...
Wow, Ed.
Let's look at some of the other things that they did.
So it seems that they rushed quickly to produce and edit videos to get them out to make it seem like it was immediate. And that's what we're finding, is all these discrepancies, all these lazy mistakes, all the tracking of clouds not being tracked properly or keyframed in to the sky. But now it's 3 months later. They're all coming out, doing all these shows now. TFE's being spoken about on Joe Rogan. They've had 3 months to edit now. I don't think these mistakes are going to be in the next batch of footage that they release. But as you can see, we've pretty much caught on.
That's why they're afraid to release anymore.
Yeah,
that's why they're afraid to release anymore. That's why you haven't seen anymore.
Yep, analyzing it frame by frame.
They're scared to death. They know they've got mistakes in their videos. It's Duffy was on Flatzoid's program, and he was being asked questions by Steve about why he didn't call. He would not answer the question. And he got off the show in a huff, demanding to have answers for other things. And I think you're going to see them less and less be on any channel where they're going to be grilled by anyone, because increasingly there are too many issues that they cannot answer. So everything's going to be carefully staged and choreographed from here on out. So they'll be like on Joe Rogan, who will ask softball questions, none of the tough questions. They'll go mainstream. So here's an example of the kind of confusion that they had with the manner in which they did it. Okay, and they had to do it this way. So at the Union Glacier camp, you had Mount Rossman here. During the orientation, one of the guides explained that south was off in this direction. And then later, about 35 seconds later, as they were walking, somebody had asked a question, well, where is south? And he pointed off in this direction. He pointed in a completely different direction from what he had pointed earlier. So you've got a 90-degree discrepancy here between where he pointed earlier and where he pointed just 35 seconds later. Why? He didn't have any bearings. Who knows where they were, but he couldn't fix his eyes on anything to give him bearings on where south was. If I said north, I meant south. They asked where south, because he was pointing where the South Pole was. So if I said north, I apologize. And then later on, Jonathan Mariandy pulls out a compass and he says south is this way. And then another guide, a second guide, said south is this way, up. So you got 4 different directions for south that happened all about the same time. So here you go. He's pointing one way, he's pointing another. They're all over the place. Now, one thing that was interesting was that Jaron, in his critique of what I have set forth, he stayed away from Anthony Powell's video. He did not want to go near that. Okay. He made some lame excuses about how it, the beginning was the end or some such thing. But he wanted to stay, and I'll show you why. In just a minute, let's see. I think. I know where it is. No. Where did I put that?
Yeah, no worries, Ed. Take your time. We are witnessing Edward Hendrie with an incredible presentation.
In this, I show how this crosspiece blocks the sun completely, which is unrealistic. Can't do that. And I made the point, I made a parallel between that and the effect in Anthony Powell's video. Okay, so you can see here how the sun is brightly coming across this camera. Okay, it's very brightly, this is the sun, it's coming across, and suddenly it gets to the crosspiece and boom, this thin crosspiece completely blocks the sun. Well, that's one of the failings of the software they're using for their CGI, because that same thing happened in Anthony Powell's video. So with Anthony Powell's video, which was done many, many years ago, and Anthony Powell was a technical assistant on the final experiment. Jaron took exception to that, but I'll prove to you in just a minute that in fact he was. In fact, one of the reasons for the final experiment, according to Duffy, was to return Anthony Powell's good name, because he'd been slandered because of the phony video he posted. So here you go. Here's the sun going across this light post, and boom, as soon as it hits the light post, the sun disappears. So that does not happen in nature.
No,
all right. And then now it comes on the other side. Now the sun reappears. And now here's the thing. The sun is about to cross. The computer program doesn't understand that it's not opaque. And so the computer program says, oh, there's an object. We got to block the sun, not realizing it's actually clear. The sun should be shining through, but it doesn't. Okay, clear indication of CGI. And then it comes through the other side, and now that it reappears. So that's something that Jaron, he stayed away from it. He wouldn't even scroll down on my website to get to that because he knew where that was going. Just as he stayed completely away from the Punta Arenas sunrise video by Duffy. No explanation for that. Okay, stayed completely away from that because the proof is so clear. Duffy said that, and I'm quoting Duffy, that Powell just helped so much prepare, figure out where to go, give me advice on how to film, how to deal with the cold, how to change out batteries. And so I cannot thank Anthony Powell enough. It sounds like he was a technical advisor. It sounds exactly that's what he was doing. But Jaron said, no, he wasn't. So in any event, this final experiment is riddled with CGI.
Riddled with CGI, start to finish. I thought we uncovered a lot, but what you have just presented here is just, without a doubt, full-on 100% confirmation of CGI. Wherever they went, the clouds, the sun disappearing, light poles and cars going through light poles. It's unbelievable. I don't know how you were able to catch some of these things in the split seconds that they took place, but divine intervention. You cannot lie and rebel against God and deceive people without the truth coming out for people to see.
Well, I believe that you're right. I believe I was led by God, and Jesus said we must be wise as serpents. Now, why would he say that? Because, as you know, the serpent is always a symbol of evil, right? Well, what he wants us to be is wise to the wiles of the devil. So he gives us the unction of the Holy Spirit. And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. And so I had a sense of how they did it. And I give all glory to Jesus Christ for that. So I knew what I was looking for. And when I saw indications of it, and I knew what the failings were of the CGI they were using, I looked in the areas where I knew I would find their CGI failings, because I knew what the CGI was incapable of doing properly. And the important thing that people should understand is why this is important. That's the key. What they're doing is they're trying to hide God. God reveals himself through his creation. He said that in Romans chapter 1, the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead. So he reveals himself through his creation. And his creation is every bit a part of the gospel as everything else. Jesus made the point that if ye believed Moses, ye would believe me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words? Moses wrote Genesis, talking about God's creation of a flat and stationary earth.
Yes.
He said, if I have told you earthly things and you believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you heavenly things? That's in John chapter 3. So if you read the Bible, it's clear that God created a flat and stationary earth. If you read in Isaiah, it's God who sitteth upon the circle of the earth. A circle of the earth. The circle of the earth. A circle is a flat plane where every part of it is equidistant from the center. He talks about when in Genesis that the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Well, a face in geometry is any individual flat surface. So a face is a flat surface. The Bible tells us, God tells us that the earth is flat. So if we understood that the stars, the moon, the sun is close by and God's above the firmament, just as the Bible says, then people will realize we are unique in creation. There is a God. They would want to find out about God. But the devil does not want people to know about God. He wants people in ignorance, thinking that we're meaninglessly spinning in a vast universe with many millions of other suns and earths and so forth. That we're not unique in God's creation. And it's all a control plan. This is a conspiracy against God and man. And yes, the governments are involved in that conspiracy.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Which is why my ministry here is to prove Bible prophecy and to crusade for the resistance for all of this. Especially when you learn that it is the governments that are in the business of employing, funding, and making sure that this agenda, pretty much all that you just said, is to hide God. I have one more video to share, Ed. You spoke amazingly tonight before we end off and not be too greedy with your time. So I just want to show a video here from Dave McKeegan. So he was live, and it was the Flat Earth South Pole is where live. It is at the exact mark is the 33rd minute, believe it or not. So check out what happened with the glitch here on his 360 cam as he's trying to display some footage from Antarctica. There's a glitch. The way it glitched here is curved, giving like the shape of curved screens, and it's under, obviously it's on the footage, not on the camera itself, because the logos are above the glitch here. So this was going around, and I just thought it'd be interesting to show you that with the slip up there that happened on Dave McKeegan's live. So just yeah, it's green too, says El Greco.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, so that's just something else that's there. I just thought I think I've emailed you it with the timestamp just to check in.
I saw it, and I didn't really know what to make of it. But again, I'd have to look into it. I try not to comment on things if I'm not fully informed.
For sure. So yeah, it's been incredible. I don't think you need to say any more. This is part 2 of debunking Final Experiment Antarctica with Edward Hendrie. It was absolutely amazing. Just some quick points to review was, of course, the clouds, the inversions of the cloud and its positioning in the sky as opposed to the horizon, how it moved within split seconds. The fake sunrise video with the CGI car on the road, going between in front and behind the pole, the sign, absolutely amazing. I don't know how, once you see what you have shown us, it's like, how could anyone have ever found that? So absolutely insane. We need you. We love the work that you do. And yeah, looking forward to more, Ed. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. It's good talking with you, Nico.
Yeah, appreciate it. Again, just incredible stuff. I'm looking forward to watching it back, as I see a lot of people here in the chats will. So yeah, we'll stay in touch. All the links to some of your books, especially the links you gave me with the discounted prices, are in the description below. And please go on to Ed's website, check out all his work and see for yourself with all the screenshots and timestamps. So God bless you, Ed. I'm looking forward to part 3 in the near future. So have a good night.
Okay. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Take care. Incredible stuff. So that is part 2 done. The Final Experiment Antarctica debunked with Edward Hendrie. He included some stuff that was in part 1, but wow, totally mind-blowing stuff. So I just want to go over the chats here because we have a full house tonight. It's been a while. So I just want to check in quickly. We started off the show with a membership. So I'm grateful and I'm very appreciative for all new members to the channel. Meister Willie of the House of Boink. And of course, Timber Traveler said, because good researching has unlimited values, appreciate the $20 super chat. And we did witness some unbelievable research. I cannot believe what we just saw in the work and I thought I was good with catching things, but some of those things, it's like you need to go through those things with have the time, a magnifying glass, if anything, just really analyzing. Yeah, sorry, internet trouble. So it's not just Edward. Yeah, he was buffering in and out a lot. I just buffered out myself. So yeah, a lot of interruptions. Apologize for all the technical difficulties on both sides with the internet tonight, but I hope it doesn't take away from the incredible presentation from Mr. Edward Hendrie. So let's go over the comments quickly and sign off before any more interruptions. Love Butterfly says, great stuff. Thanks for sharing. Joyce B says, thank you, Ed. Blessings to you, friend. Miss J7 says, thanks, Ed and Nico. Yeah, the final hoax. New name going around is Scam Arctica. So yeah, just going through some comments here. You guys have been incredible tonight. Yep, it was a great presentation, says El Greco. Michael M says 105,000 people visited Antarctica in 2024, most going in summer and most going south enough to see a midnight sun. So we are talking about hundreds of thousands of people from different countries. So Mike saying denying the 24-hour sun is just a losing argument. TFE is clearly not fake because there is no reason to fake it when hundreds of thousands of Christians and regular people have seen it, that it's real. So we do have someone that is siding with TFE that does believe everything they've seen, even though they've been here for Edward's presentation and seen that everything that they have given us has been clearly CGI edited. The Prime Mover says, thanks. That was amazing. And it is flat. God bless all, says Wrong House. Thank you, J Bums. Everyone leave some comments after the live is done. I'd appreciate if you guys shared it out to some flat earth channels. Spread this information, share it out. Everyone deserves to see Edward's amazing presentation. Yeah, Autodidactic Girl says, thank you, Ed. Joyce B, as always, is here taking in all this incredible information, says, wow. Yeah, Crystal Gem also says, thank you, Edward. Great work. Timber Traveler, we got a member here of the channel, says 52 likes and 92 watching. So yeah, please, let's help the algorithm. My channel is under attack and very censored. I'm not here to complain as I have before, but please, let's play with the algorithm. I'm going to do the like, comment, subscribe, share out, so let's get this thing working so we can spread this information far and wide. The truth was flowing. It feels so good, says Justina. Link channel. When I look for, I don't find it. In the subscription, I believe, which channel are you looking to link for? Says DJ New Moon. Yeah, love butterfly. Edward was right on. Julie Leah says, thank you, Edward and Nico. You're very welcome. Appreciate you being here, Leah. Yeah, we all need to improve our vision. So I think Red and PA or someone else in the chats was suggesting we do a show on educating on CGI footage, AI, what to look for, because yeah, we're in a new age of technology now. Timberwolf says frozen. I was frozen. Uh-oh. Am I back? I'm still looking at let me see. Sorry, I'm updating the comments. Was I frozen for too long? J7 says share. That's it, Miss J7. You've been a long time crusader of this resistance, so God bless you. DJ New Moon has found it. Was I frozen for too long? Little Binkchi says the video shows you the will of the Father is that we believe into his Son. NASA is against belief. I love seeing so many crusaders coming together to support and share the works of God. Yeah, myself as well. Miss Alina Hart, we got the Miami Resistance, says loving this live and love the new look, Nico. Yes, I see a lot of comments. I did get a haircut, trying something different. Got the line on this side. Trying to keep it neat, staying positive, and yeah, everyone's loving the new look. Yeah, appreciate that. So I wasn't expecting so many compliments on that. Red and PA says, press that subscribe button. Appreciate that. Let's get the subs back up. I lost a lot of subs because I was, complaining and just annoyed with things the other day. So the algorithm did not like it. So yeah, I've learned my lesson not to be negative, but to be positive on the YouTube. Joyce B says, can you place hyperlinks under your videos? Perhaps when more tab is clicked, a link to membership, Patreon. Yes, I do have to figure that out. Add more links to my other channels, other pages, to my memberships. So bear with me. I'm getting to it. Appreciate the patience of everyone. Joyce B says, I am good. I'm not frozen anymore. Thank you. Yeah, so many crusaders here. Warms my heart. Still buzzing from Ed's presentation. Incredible stuff. Apologies again for his buffering situation. It's worth it. Trust me. The information's there. Everything was presented well. Those little interferences weren't too much of anything. So we definitely got through it. Frozen for like 10 seconds. That's all. Okay, that's good to know because having a lot of troubles with the internet, and I'm not the only one. Yeah, we are reviving the new revival. So wait, I want to share something. I just wanted Ed to take the floor and do his thing. So here's the video in regards to Jaren and what he was whining and complaining about from Ed's.
Where's that here? So what it is there's a video. Oh, is this it? Come on. Yeah, this is it. Let me show you this. Great. I found it. Woo. This over here. Let's watch.
So there it is. This W-shaped cloud is fake.
Oh, you got me. This W-shaped cloud is fake, he says. So this is my footage, my chest cam footage. So of course I'm like, what is this guy talking about? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Let's listen.
Well, how do you explain when the sun? Hold on, I'm trying to find the clip. So, okay, let's look at this fake cloud in the sky.
Oh, it's a fake cloud in the sky, guys.
Is this sharing?
Yeah. Fake cloud.
Okay. How do you explain?
How do you explain this, guys?
So this is from Jaren's
Jaren's
GoPro. I think it's supposed to be at like 2:43 was the timestamp. Yeah. So check out this as they go outside. Just need to get it to the mark.
I mean, to think that this is their evidence.
So there it is.
Look at that
W-shaped cloud. That's fake.
Oh, you got me.
That's how you prove.
Thank you, Peter.
And this is coming from Edward Hendrie.
Yeah, Edward Hendrie's a liar.
From his website. So you're gonna see.
Now watch this cloud.
Walking. You don't tell me you can't see this. You
see what?
See that cloud is now in this corner up here. Look, it's starting to move.
What?
Abnormally. Look at it as the car is tracking with the camera. Watch it. Look at it. Oh boy! Did you not see the way that this tracked down like that?
Oh, it tracked down, did it? I mean, we have problems in this world. What is wrong with this guy? It tracked down. So Nico, you know that thing that you make calls from, get text messages from? It's called a phone. In it is a camera. Okay. What I want you to do is walk out inside your house. I know you haven't been outside your house in years. It's okay. The sun's not going to kill you. Get out there and then do me a favor. Go walk across the street from your house. Won't be very difficult. Watch for cars. I know you haven't been out there a while. Cars are still a thing. When you get across the street, turn around and look at your house, and then look up in the sky at something that's up there like a cloud. And then start filming and walking yourself towards the house.
No,
What do you
Jared.
think happens to that cloud?
No. After what we just saw, you've been debunked, you've been exposed. Edward Hendrie, yet again, has responded to your nonsense, and it's not going to fly over. Anyone can go out their house and walk to it with their phone. As you said, we're not going to get the same CGI effects that you got from your GoPro camera in the studio. So yeah, we are crushing this experiment, and these fake flat earthers such as Jaren and Witsit and whoever wants to play along. We know that MC Toon and the Will Duffy, they're all sticking and backing it up as much and hard as they can. But obviously, they've invested a lot of their time and effort and money. So yeah, just listening to this guy makes me violent, smug asshole, says Alina Hart. So yeah, it was great to have Edward come on, respond to Jaren after Jaren was just so amazed at the first presentation, had to try and mock it. Didn't go too well because Edward came back and pretty much, yeah, there's no way Jaren's coming back from this. So yeah, facts to El Greco. I'm not going to go on for too much longer and take much more time away from Edward's presentation. So I'm going to end this live. You guys have been incredible. I wish I didn't have to leave, especially when I see a full house like this. But yeah, we'll be back. So if you've been watching and listening to this live stream, you are the resistance.